I'm Elliot Rodriguez, and this is your CBS Miami News Brief. Let's get a check of our travel forecast from meteorologist Dave Warren.
Getting some moisture returning to the southeast, so that will lead to showers and more storms developing here, particularly through the afternoon. This is what it looks like here. You see these showers and storms developing and working their way across the interior of the Florida Peninsula and even up across the southeast. Hot, though, with temperatures into the 90s. Higher humidity will make that heat index closer to 100 degrees. Slightly cooler temperatures with a peak passing showers across the northeast. 70s and 80s there. Had some severe weather in parts of the Pacific Northwest yesterday. That storm which caused that is now moving through Rapid City and into parts of Nebraska. 60s behind that, 80s and 70s to the north of that, and showers and storms could go all the way down into South Texas. Triple digits here across the southwest. No showers, but until you get up to about Portland and Seattle, just a few mountain showers with temperatures into the upper 80s and lower 90s. Back to you.
Dave, thanks. We often talk about the role mentors play in a person's life to help steer them from making mistakes. But a program underway in a Florida prison shows the impact a mentor can have on those looking to begin their lives anew. CBS 4's Jim DeFede has our story.
Behind the barbed wire fences of the Everglades Correctional Institute,
what qualities does a good mentor possess?
A group of men gather to discuss the value of mentoring.
Patience, because I didn't have a father figure growing up.
No, I think we all are here for making bad choices.
Who had attitude?
The program inside the state prison on the western edge of Miami-Dade County is unique in that it relies on the prisoners themselves to become the mentors for their fellow inmates.
I wish I had a mentor growing up that I paid attention to. I've learned and grown so much more than I ever learned in any school class or anything I ever did. I learned about life, I learned about people this way.
I've had the best conversations, in my life right here at Everglades.
Alan Cohen oversees the Horizon program, as it's known. Under the program, 128 inmates live in 2 large dorms where they are encouraged to develop a sense of family, learning from each other ways to become better people. They are also offered computer training and other skills that can help them when they are released.
I had very close friends of mine that would even ask me, why would you be doing something like this? Why do you want to help people that are in those type of situations? Well, after I attended a couple volunteer sessions up in Daytona, I realized that wasn't the case, okay? That there are an amazing amount of good people in prison.
From a distance, it may seem hard to imagine that Richard Leckler and Luther Colley would fit the description of good people. Leckler is serving 20 years for burglary, and Colley is 17 years into a 25-year sentence for armed robbery. Colley was 22 when he was arrested.
When I met Luther, he was a young, wild kid coming in angry. He was upset. And I just tried to just show him that there's so much in him.
I had dreams and aspirations, and prison wasn't one of them.
Leckler said he thinks of Colley as his son now.
And I don't think he intentionally was trying to be a mentor. That's just who he is. It's just quite natural.
And now Colley is helping others.
When you take the initiative to actually sign up to get in this program, there's something in you that's yearning for some change. It may not be as obvious at first, but we've discovered in the process of time that just being in an environment like this, it has a positive effect.
We've been torn down. We know what the society feels about us, and we know what they think about us. But we know who we are as people.
Of course, there are no guarantees it will work, but all the men we spoke to were hopeful.
We are planting seeds. Whether we see those seeds grow, that's really not our part.
That was Jim DeFede reporting. Leckler is scheduled to be released in another 18 months, while Colley's release date is 2024. He's hoping even then to continue to help those in prison restart their lives. And for information how you can get involved as a mentor, head over to our website, cbsmiami.com/mentoringmatters. And we want to hear about the mentors in your life. Email us at mentoringmatters@cbs.com. And that's our newscast for now. You can always find us at cbsmiami.com and tune in to CBS 4 News at 5, 6, 7, and 11 for all the day's important headlines. I'm Elliot Rodriguez.